live, Jean.
All right. Well, happy Monday. Good morning and welcome everybody to Power Talk. I'm your host, Jean Adrienne. And if you haven't already gone to my website, jeanadrienne.com, please do and sign up for my newsletter so I can send you a link to the online version of the InnerSpeak card so that you can clear your blocks away in the privacy of your home, totally free. If you don't like my newsletter, you can opt out at any time and you can still keep using those cards. But let's talk about our show today. Today we're going to talk about angels. And my guest is the amazing Kim O'Neill. Her website is www.kimoneil, KIMO'Neil.com. Oh, Kim O'Neill Psychic, PSYCIC. I don't think I spelled that right. Well, anyway, KimO'NeillPsychic.com. And Kim, you can straighten them out on that one. Now, we're having a little bit of microphone issues, so Kim is going to be quite soft today. She's going to yell because we want you to hear everything she has to say because it's all important stuff. Welcome, Kim.
Hi, Jean. I'm so happy to be here with you.
Well, I'm really thrilled. I haven't talked to you in a while. It's been since you wrote your book about your past lives, I guess. So I know that your life is totally amazing and you've helped so many people by giving them messages from their angels if they don't listen to them themselves. And so today, I'm hoping that we'll have time for you to kind of share with folks how they can begin to do that communication because the angels are there for us all the time. We just have to ask and listen.
Exactly. And what I'm always talking about in my workshops or in my private sessions is that we need to think about every day of our lives as the most important day we're ever going to have. So when we wake up in the morning, it's important to tell ourselves, this is the most important day of my life, and what am I going to do today to make it better, to change things, to feel like I'm moving forward? But sometimes it's hard to know what to do. So that's where our angels come in. And so what I do is I conduct private sessions, but I also do a lot of teaching. And I love to help folks better understand how intuitive they already are, but how they can recognize and develop more confidence in their own psychic ability.
Absolutely. Well, you know what? We've already got a caller online who I think would like to get a message from you. So, Rachel, if you will unmute our caller, we'll welcome them on. And so who are we speaking with? Area code 678.
This is Julie.
Hi, Julie. So how can we help you today?
I was pretty much just calling in. Any general reading would be nice. I've just felt a little stuck lately, not knowing quite what to do.
And Julie, Julie, what is your age right now?
27.
27. And what state are you calling from? Are you in the United States? What state are you calling from?
Yeah, Georgia.
Georgia. Oh,
yep.
Right. Now, and thank you for calling. And it is a joy to be able to share information with you. Julie, what I'm picking up is that your angels are telling me that this is going to be a very transitional year for you, meaning you're going to be finally stepping into your life's work. And your angels are telling me that you've become very bored with where you are right now, that you know that you're ready for some kind of transition, and you've been preparing for it by working through your issues. Your angels say that 2015 and 16 were difficult years for you. Does that make sense to you?
Oh, yes.
Yes. So they're telling me that because of all this hard work you've done, you've earned the opportunity to move forward. And so the question is to move forward into what and when and how, and your angels are ready to provide you all that information. They're talking about the fact that, Julie, you are going to be happiest in your own business. Have you ever thought of starting a business?
Yes, I've been looking into that, but I was trying to go into more of a healing modality or crafting of such. Haven't quite figured it out yet.
Okay. Your angels are talking about, they say crafting is always going to be a hobby. You're very creative, but what you're going to find most fulfilling will be working a little bit more in the spiritual realm. And your angels are telling me that your life's work involves having your own business, being a spiritual teacher, starting this business from home so you can start it on a shoestring, because they say money is really tight for you right now, which I know it is for a lot of us. But they're talking about you actually channeling for other people, you working on your ability to connect with spirit, with your guardian angels. And I can give you some real quick tips. And your angels are talking about you going into this kind of work, you working as a channel, a medium, or a psychic for other people.
Okay, great. That's kind of what I've been feeling, but I'm always just kind of blocked it a little bit. Still a little bit of that fear in that area I'm working on.
So Julie, if you will go onto my website, jeanadrienne.com, and sign up for my newsletter, I am going to do a free teleseminar next Tuesday night, not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow. And hopefully I'll have a lot of pointers that might actually help you. And it's totally free. You just have to call in.
Okay.
So I'll send a newsletter out with that announcement.
Okay, thanks.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you for calling in.
Now, Jean,
well, thank you.
Jean, I know that you just mentioned your teleseminar a week from tomorrow, which is awesome. If I could share one little tip and pointer that might be useful.
Good.
Folks. And what I recommend is that you develop a close relationship with your angels, so you understand that, you become confident that their communication with you is free flowing all day long. So to start the day by giving them 10 minutes of your time, 10 minutes sitting with a notebook and a pen, finding a quiet place, and it doesn't matter where it is, as long as it's safe and quiet, and writing the date down at the top of the page, whatever date it happens to be, and then asking your angels to speak with you. I call this a morning briefing. And the way they're going to communicate is to speak with you inside your head, and that's called telepathy.
Yep.
So when you're practicing to sit and listen to whatever floods into your head, and that is going to be the direct communication with your angels. And when we understand how simple it is and how free-flowing it already is, it makes a huge difference in the trust we have in our own ability. So a lot of people will say, well, how do I know it isn't my own head? How do I know that I'm just not thinking rather than my angels communicating with me? And what I recommend is this. When we sit down with our notebook and our pen, right before we ask our angels for information, it's a great idea to ask our brain to put itself on mute. So in other words, you'd sit down with your notebook and pen in your quiet place. You'd say, my intellect, my brain, I want you to put yourself on mute while I am speaking with my angels, and wait for you're going to feel really still. And then ask your angels to start giving you information. So there's going to be more confidence in the messages and the phraseology that you're hearing inside your head, that is coming from your angels. And doing those two really simple things can really help you turn a corner. So those are two simple suggestions that I have to start.
That is so cool. And it's interesting. It's almost like you're looking at my journal this morning, because I did that. And the angel that came into me was a lovely angel by the name of Haniel. And it was just a sweet feminine energy. And, she was really sort of blessing me on my path.
Awesome.
Which I thought was very cool.
That's all. Now, gee, doesn't that give you a lift? Doesn't it not only brighten your day, but so many folks right now are worried, concerned about what's going on in the US and internationally. So if we have an idea about what our path is, and if we are communicating with our angels on a day-to-day basis, it's going to be much simpler and easier to stay, positive and optimistic, because we're all here right now for a reason. All of us. Nothing happens by accident.
Exactly. Exactly. And, quite frankly, I've been sort of a recluse for the last 4 or 5 months. I had an accident. I didn't even tell you about this, but I had a fall and I hurt my eye, and it was pretty traumatic. So I really had pulled back from doing a lot of external work. But, the message that I've gotten over this weekend actually was it's time to start sharing with people what you've learned through this, do some free stuff and get them engaged, and then help everybody by modeling the energy you've learned, help them. So that's really what the inspiration was for this.
And we're all here to be of service to one another, and you are like a guardian angel in human form. So we're all here, and if we start asking ourselves, why do I have certain people in my life, and am I doing everything I could be or should be for them? So it really opens our view of who we are and what we think we're capable of. So Jean, by sharing what you're sharing and leading by example, you are a wonderful role model for folks who, we all have what we consider deficits at any given time. But we have those things to learn from, like me with my heart surgery. So everything is meant to be a learning experience. And then it's so important to ask, how do I share this with others? Because it helps other people feel not so alone.
Right.
Do you think so?
Oh, exactly. And I think, that sense of connection is, that's really paramount in most people's lives. If you look at how many people watched the Oscars last night, they were trying to get a sense of connection that was missing in their life. But you know what? When you try to find that connection outside yourself, it doesn't really work. It was good enough for the Oscars, but today they're back to the same old place.
Yes.
So, connecting with the angels, that's a vertical connection.
Yes. And that's a wonderful point. Oh, gee, that's a wonderful point, because many of us want to connect with other people, but we can feel sometimes that we don't have the exact kind of connections we like. Maybe we don't have the kind of relationships that we'd like with family, or maybe we don't have that special romantic partnership we want, or maybe we don't have the best relationships at school or at work. And so the relationship with our angels stays very constant and very supportive, very encouraging, very acknowledging. So if we begin the day and continue the day having that as our foundation, it makes a huge difference. At the same time, when maybe our relationships with other people aren't always what we want them to be. So.
Yeah. But the angels are consistent, and they're constant, and they're steadfast, and they're faithful. Oh boy, all these words are coming into my head. Yeah.
And non-judgmental.
Right. Yes.
And I love how frank and candid they are. I love that too, because, when we ask them for information, my experience has been that they're going to be, very forthright, and that's what we want. It's not going to be fulfilling or satisfying if we are communicating with them and we finish and we're thinking, what were they talking about? What did that mean? Almost like we have to decipher one of Nostradamus's quatrains. I found angels to be very much to the point, very pragmatic, very specific, which is great, because I think all of us are looking for guidance day by day by day.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, there's this thing about being present with your angels that opens you up to find, again, that guidance within you where it really resides.
Absolutely. And talk about helping with decision making. It can be so remarkable, because in a very short period of time, once we realize that maybe 80% of what we're hearing and sensing up here, besides emotional feelings and visions that we have and dreams at night, but this dialogue that's going on inside of our head is 80-90% between us and our guardian angels. it really helps to feel their presence as we go about our daily routine. And they say, go ahead and pick up the phone, or go ahead and make that purchase, or go ahead and make a phone call about starting school again, or go ahead and pass this information along to somebody else. Or it's this constant flow of direction that will allow us to feel when we go to bed at night that, by golly, we've gotten some things done, and we haven't just been busy, but we've been productive.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And, I know that so often it's easy to, kind of discount the information that we get. But that, we shouldn't do that. I mean, I had a situation come up a couple of weeks ago where I was needing something, and I kind of thought, well, you know what? I could take care of this myself by just calling this person and blah, blah, blah. And then it was like, I really should trust, because Spirit's going to provide whatever this is for me. I don't really need to do that. But turns out I really did need to do that. And that little nudge was my guardian angel saying, Jean, call this person, and let them send you what you need, because they will do it right now.
And it's so remarkable, we intellectually, we can be thinking, oh, that's not going to happen, or, oh, that won't work, or, oh, this is crazy, or, oh, I must be wrong. But if we follow through and do it, we see the tangible results. And that really goes a long way in us building our faith and confidence in our own judgment and discernment.
Exactly. Exactly. And really, that's what it's all about, is learning to trust yourself, because the flow is there all the time. It is flowing all the time. You just got to tap into it and then trust that what you're getting is what you need to get.
A lot of folks, it's interesting. I've conducted so many sessions. This is my 30th year channeling.
No, you're only 30 years old, Kim.
No, I love being my age. But it's so interesting when someone will say in a private session or at a workshop, well, but I'm really not connected at all. And then I'll hear from their guardian angels, well, all right, for example, what about last week when you told your sister-in-law that she needed to call this particular doctor, and my client will say, well, I don't know. I don't know where that came from. And I wondered about that. And I told my sister-in-law, and she did make the phone call, and everything worked out the way that, best case scenario. And a lot of times we follow through and do things that just are like we think like what would you call it, Jean? Like a whim or something.
Yeah, a hunch.
Yes, a hunch. Perfect word. And we follow through and we think, how did I know that? And where did that come from? And of course, our angels. So they're always, even if people don't believe that angels communicate with them or in them, they still have them surrounding them. So, yeah.
Many years ago, I read this beautiful little book by Florence Scovel Shinn, and it's got a lot of great information in it. And one of the phrases in that was, "Dear God, please don't let me miss a trick."
Oh.
And that's really, I try to remember to say that a lot.
That's a really good point. And it's one of the reasons, even though we have, our angels are talking to us all day long as we're going about our daily routine, as human beings, we have a lot of outside distractions.
Mm.
So
you think?
Yeah, exactly. Juggling 500 balls in the air.
Right.
So when we have that little briefing with them first thing in the morning, they can share things that maybe felt, through the cracks the day before, or so it can be the most productive 10 minutes of the whole day, and actually save a lot of time, with our angels saying, don't do this, or you might want to think about that. And we really stay productive and on target with where we can and should be. And with Julie, who called a few minutes ago, and she was wondering, her life was sort of at she's ready to transition into a brand new chapter.
Mm.
We get to that point and we can sense that that's where we are, but then we wonder, okay, so where am I going? And what am I supposed to be doing? And when and how? And are the things I'm thinking about what I'm supposed to do, or is it something else altogether? And a lot of times we might spin our wheels trying to explore different things, but communicating with our angels is like hitting that fast forward button. So they just provide us the information we need at the time. And if we are proactive and step forward and do what they're recommending we do, we are going to feel a steady, continual momentum in our life.
Absolutely. And, I really related to what Julie was saying, because I kind of feel that I'm there as well. I think I'm about ready to step off into a new direction. I feel the excitement. I feel the energy, but I just don't know what the direction is. So do my angels have any information for me on that?
Yes. Jean, you know what I'm hearing? That you are going to be disseminating and sharing information with other people, and helping other people disseminate their messages as well, which you've already been doing. And so, of course, you're a spiritual teacher and a spiritual healer and a facilitator for others. So what's going to happen this year is that your spiritual classroom is going to get much, much bigger. And your angels are telling me that one of the things that you need to pursue, and they say you're ready for this now, two things. Number one, well, among all the other things you're going to be doing, your workshops and, in person and your online workshops and tutorials, your angels are saying this year it's important for you to think about another book, which you will start and finish this year, nonfiction, but also, interestingly enough, a reality show.
Interesting.
A reality show that follows you as you live the life of a teacher and a healer, because in that way, you're going to be able to lead by example in a way that goes behind the scenes, behind everything you're sharing now. Your angels say you are so generous in what you share with other people. And the reality show will demonstrate moments you have of fear and hesitation, which we all have sometimes, all of us, but that you move forward anyway. And those moments would be brief, but what it's like to do what you do. And then not only would that be of value, but others being able to hear what you have to teach, hear what you have to say. And it's going to, this is your last lifetime on the earthly plane.
I knew that. Yes.
So this show and the books that you write and everything you do from this time forward, you have many more years left. It's going to represent not only what you've achieved in this lifetime, like in your 30 years, but in every past lifetime as well. So this is going to be 2017, Jean, represents for you the biggest classroom that you'll ever have, and you're going to have a blast. You are going to be very comfortable with TV cameras there.
Cool.
Yeah. Not a lot of people would, but you will be.
Oh yeah, I love being on stage. So I hope my producer's listening to this. Rachel, maybe we're going to do the Reality of Jean show. Who knows? That's really cool.
Yeah. You know what I'm hearing? I'm hearing the Sci-Fi Channel.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. I love that.
The Sci-Fi Channel. Even though what you do, it's like you're a spiritual life coach for people.
Yeah.
The Sci-Fi, I'm hearing that they would be most open to this kind of program and starting it this year. So it would be awesome. You're also going to get an opportunity to do a talk show. Now, you do a talk show now online, but it's going to be a talk show where you've got an audience, a studio audience, and then you have guests, and each show will reflect a different topic. So that's going to be another teaching format for you as well. So you're really going to become much more public and expand your classroom this year.
Cool. Well, I'm excited about that. Thank you, Kim. So before we run out of time, do you have any sort of like last minute tidbits that you would like to give the viewers?
Yes. Not only is it a good idea to every morning, 10 minutes maybe, to sit with a notebook and a pen, make little brief notes about what you're hearing, what you're sensing, what you're feeling, trust in however the information comes to you. and make little brief notes. But at the same time, it's very important to kind of put yourself out there a little bit. And what I recommend to folks is if they think about somebody in their life who they could consider like a channeling buddy. In other words, maybe it's a sister, maybe it's a brother, maybe it's a neighbor, a close friend, and to get together with that person for this reason, you know, maybe once a month, and then listen to what you might be hearing from him or her, and then them do it for you. That can really help build someone's ability. And no one's going to judge, no one's going to scoff, but it's a very beneficial way. Not only are you gifting someone else with information, but you're beginning to trust in what you're picking up in a different way. Because as you and I know, it's very different receiving angelic information for someone else than it is for oneself.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I channel for a lot of professional psychics and mediums who say, you know, they can channel like crazy for other people, but they have a real hard time for themselves. So channeling for oneself and working on that, but also channeling for someone else is going to make a big difference in how someone feels confidence in their own ability. It's very important to be independent and empowered and self-reliant. And that's one of the things that really drives me when I teach angelic communication.
Mm-hmm. Our producer, Rachel Love, wants to know if you have anything for her.
Let's see. And what I'm doing, I have little Post-it notes, and I don't always have them, but what is Rachel's age right now?
I don't know. I would say she's maybe, oh, wow. She said she's 61. I would have said she was maybe early 50s. Huh.
There are so many, Rachel, there are so many things that we can talk about because there's going to be a lot of things happening for you this year, with your health, with your personal life, professionally. And your angels want to hone in on something in just 1 second. This is going to be a life-changing year for you, and there's going to be a lot of unexpected opportunities that come your way. You know how some things we're working on and it gets kind of frustrating because we think, gosh, everything is always pending in my life. When are things going to finally start tangibly happening? Everything is just pending and pending. This year, things are really going to be happening for you that you are not even pursuing. And so your angels are talking, Rachel, about this year, what they want to hone in on, and there's so many things to talk about for you, but your health. And they say this year is going to be a year that you really focus on healthy eating, and specifically being a vegetarian, and even more specifically than that, being a vegan, which means no eggs, and you probably already know what that is, but becoming a vegan this year. And you also are going to be working out in a way that you never have before. So this year is about really rejuvenating your energy levels, because you're going to need lots of energy and good sleeping at night to be able to do all the things you're going to be doing in your personal life. You're going to be moving. You have a lot of opportunities professionally. So your angels say the thing they want you to focus on right now, among the other things you're already focusing on, is developing and choosing a vegan lifestyle. There's a wonderful book that I want to share. It's a wonderful book. The book is called Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease. Again, the name of the book, Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease. The author's name is Esselstyn. He's a physician who's done a lot of studies, and there's not only wonderful information in the book, but recipes as well. You know, so you're not going to starve to death. And I can't recommend that book highly enough. Now, do you have heart disease? No. But the eating habits that he suggests, you know, non-dairy, really help all different systems of the body and can prevent a lot of issues that we're not even meant to experience. So that is the biggest message from your angels. They want you to get that book. They want you to start on that eating plan. And then they're going to talk to you about a brand new workout program that'll fit in your schedule and that you can conduct They're not going to have you like training for the Olympics or anything, but it's really going to make a big difference in your whole quality of life. So that's the most important thing they want to share. Many other things they want to share as well, but those would be the most important.
Well, and Rachel just said thank you very much and give thanks and love to her angels. So Kim, this has been exciting and it's been fun as I knew it would be. So viewers, Kim's website is KimO'NeillPsychic.com, and you can go out there and you can register to get a reading with her, and her readings are really amazing, very accurate. So as you could see, you know, the stuff that was going on today, you got a good sample of that. So check it out, and she's got 2 books, is it?
I have 4 books.
4 books, wow. I'm behind the times.
Oh, no. Well, How to Talk with Your Angels, Bond with Your Baby Before Birth, The Calling, My Journey with the Angels, which is a memoir. And then my latest book is The Way of Knowingness, about reincarnation and life's purpose. So they're all nonfiction and available at Amazon.
Fantastic. All right. Well, I appreciate you so much.
Oh, Jean, thank you for having me. And I would recommend to viewers and listeners that they go to my site. I have a monthly drawing, and I conduct a drawing for a 30-minute private session every single month. So all you've got to do is sign up for my newsletter, and you'll be entered into the drawing. And I would love the opportunity to channel for I love channeling. So
I can tell it's your passion.
Yes.
Okay, so viewers, we will not have a show next Monday. I'm going to be going down to Florida to drive my daughter for her cancer treatments. So I won't be available next Monday, but I'll be back the following one, and my guest will be Tuck Self. You've met Tuck before, and she's going to be talking about the Venus sequence in human design. So it should be a really good show. So until next time, remember, people who take responsibility for their lives create the reality they desire. Ciao.